Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you as always for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapachet. And this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for joining us on this Easter Monday. Of course, we normally record on Sunday evenings, but yesterday being Easter Sunday, we had a lot of things going on. We had a lot of plans going on and stuff happening in our own lives. So of course we had to postpone it just one extra day, and that leads us to this lovely warm. Well, I'm in Las Vegas, so it's nice and toasty now. Monday, April 21st, Easter Monday. We got plenty to talk about. Yeah, there were some fights this weekend. Gabriela Fundora did great. Did five round fight on DAZN. I mean, it was a 10 rounder, but she ended up taking her out in 5 6 rounds. But that's not the news of the weekend because we got plenty of fight announcements. I mean, not us, but the news that was being broken that we're gonna dissect. We're gonna hear about this fantastic card with William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson. We have one Jake Paul that we're going to get into here momentarily, and a couple of other announcements that we're going to, sprinkle in throughout the show. So we got plenty to talk about on this Easter Monday. But before we get into all of that stuff, Andrew, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Miguel? Uh, Very good. Very slow Monday. Seems like everyone stood home from work today. Traffic was very light getting home, so that's always a positive. So
Mm.
yeah, we're doing good.
How was your Easter? Did you have a nice family filled Easter? Did you have the Easter egg hunt? Your kids are still young enough to do the egg hunt, right?
Oh yeah, and really they were spoiled this year. So
Oh,
at my family's house, all the kids were missing. They either didn't come because of just all personal reasons,
all right,
lives, right?
all right.
All doing other things, and it turned out my three kids were going to be the only babies on site.
Shit. All
Bro,
right.
like,
Well, they were spoiled.
yeah, it was ridiculous how much stuff they got. Oh, they actually made a basket for one of their cousins, my Junior and Giovanni's cousin, Elijah. He's like the same age as Junior, so they're really close. He went
All right.
and did it. Yeah, he went and made a basket for him. He has so much stuff. You know, you got a lot of stuff when you just start giving it away, bro.
Yeah, it's like I don't want
Right?
to hear. Just take it.
I was like, dear, that was cool, but yeah, that's how much. That's how many things my family got them. But I don't know. Hopefully next year everyone gets together.
Yeah, hopefully, right? I mean, that's the whole point of these particular type of holidays, right? And then the unfortunate news of the passing of one Pope Francis this morning on Easter Monday. Of course, obviously today's Monday. Did you hear about that? Pope Francis was 88 years old. Holy friggin' smokes! One of the last times he made an appearance, he was in a wheelchair. But I mean, I guess what a way to go out, right, on Easter Monday. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't get any. I don't know what I don't know what to say here about the man. I know the new pope's going in a whole new direction, though, or at least
Oh,
the
is he
guy
now?
that they. Yeah, yeah, ooh,
Mm.
yeah, it's about to
Not
get.
in a good direction, but I could tell
No,
by the.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's just not the same. The whole woke. I think the whole woke thing probably
Oh,
ain't staying around in the Vatican anymore. Yeah,
yikes!
it looks like they're changing. They're changing with the times, Miguel.
I
Going
see.
back. No, he hasn't been elected yet. He's just
Mm,
the guy they said everyone's pointing at might be
mm.
the
The next candidate, the potential candidate.
yeah, yeah, for the one that passed away. It was pretty cool. The man got to wave his last goodbye to the crowd. A lot of people were still there showing up.
Hmm.
The Vatican was packed for Easter, so it looks like all of Europe showed up. Really though, on Easter, it looks like they ain't playing in Europe anymore, Miguel.
No,
It's gonna get it. This is why. Ah, can't get political, but they got it. They got to shut it down, man. Yeah,
religious
they
slash political.
Muslim Christian thing is getting real hot out there. It's
Yeah,
getting real. Yeah, oh yeah. So
right each other's
yeah,
necks.
yes, sir. They're bringing the Christian out of people. You know what I mean? For a
Hmm.
while, I think it's been people know about church, but
Sure.
they weren't really following. But once you start pressing, yeah, you're gonna wake up a
Then
sleeping
it comes
giant.
out.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's it for there. That was cool. He got to say goodbye. That was cool. There was a lot of people there, and yeah, it sucks. Fucking sucks.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? 88 glorious years. I think they said it was
There
double
you go.
pneumonia that did him in, but holy hand, failure, liver, and it was all out. So I mean, shit, 88 years old. I wish I can get,
Yeah, he had a stroke. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I
right.
heard. That's what I heard.
But I sure as hell wish I can get to if I can 88. You know, I definitely. I mean, that's the goal, right? Surpass the get as old as he possibly can. But holy hope, 88
Do
years old.
they do they still do the mafia thing? Remember in the movie Godfather when they do the smoke out of the Vatican to show that the Pope had
Oh,
passed?
damn, I don't know. I didn't see any. Like I've seen a whole bunch of footage on TV. I haven't seen anything
That's
like that.
I know. I didn't see anything. I'm like, what the hell was that? A fake part scene in the movie?
It's
You
like
mean
it's just a movie. It's just
you
a
mean
movie.
the mob doesn't assassinate the Pope and then they do the white smoke?
Right. Oh no. Yeah, that's it's just a movie. That's not real life. Let's just go ahead and leave that for the silver screen, guys. But yeah. But you know, again, what a day to do it on, Easter Monday, with all the news that's going on in the boxing world. Let's go ahead and get started because holy hell, let's go ahead and I know this is the story that everybody's dying to knock here, to everybody's been on pins and needles to see who Jake Paul will fight next. Of course, I'm being sarcastic there, but apparently it's going to be. Oh God damn it! Why does this have to happen now? It wasn't doing that at all. But even though I'm blurry as hell, I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm sure the sound is still crisp. One Jake Paul is going to step into the boxing ring against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., el hijo de la Yelenda, no, what is it? Leyenda. There you go. That's how you say it. Um, the son of a legend. Didn't really make as much of a splash as his dad in the ring, but regardless, at this point, being as past his prime as he potentially can be, still somewhat of a formidable opponent, I would say. Um, Andrew, you sent me a clip of one of the shows that we did. It was 5 months ago, as a matter of fact, because it was shortly after Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, and everybody and their mamas came out of the woodwork to challenge
That's right.
Jake Paul for what he did to Mike and how bad he made Mike look. And everybody from more MMA guys to the former undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev to one Chavez Jr. So at that point, we're like, oh, Chavez Jr. Okay. Now, I will make sure to clip it and post it on our fucking YouTube channel, after we're done here. But I was under the impression that Jake Paul wanted to be sort of the bad guy, right? He wants to be the villain. He wants to be yeah, that's right on Mayweather. You guys can hate me all you want, but you tune in to watch me lose, and you tuning in means money in my pockets. That's what he was attempting to do. Well, how else can you be much more of a villain? How can you become a villain than to beat the son of a legend in one Chavez Jr.? I did predict that the fight was going to happen, or not predict, but I said, Jake Paul, do it. Go after, Chavez Jr., do it Cinco de Mayo weekend, or do it even Mexican Independence Day weekend. Ultimately, we decided on Cinco de Mayo weekend. And, it's a very winnable fight for him. And you know what? Do it for free on Netflix the way you did with Mike Tyson. Well, he must have heard half of the fucking, suggestion because it's going to be Chavez Jr. It's going to be in June 28th in Anaheim, California, and it's going to be on DAZN pay-per-view. So, first and foremost, Andrew, what was your first reaction when you read the news?
Yeah, 5 months ago, it was Chavez calling him out and really not getting hot at all. Jake Paul either listens to you, Miguel, or listens to the show, or he is the right man for the job in boxing, right? Because this fight was not on the table. Nobody considered it to be a moneymaker, yet he puts him and Chavez on the main event and puts another highly respected, well-known Mexican, Zuro Ramirez, on the undercard, and all of a sudden we have a legit card. All of a sudden we might have a 2-fight plan for Jake Paul that puts him right in the motherfucking driver's seat of that. Is that the light heavyweight division or cruiserweight? They're going
cruiserweight. They're gonna go
cruiserweight division. And yes, people, listen, I know Chavez is 2 weeks out of rehab. Don't start. Chavez is a test because he is a professional fighter. He was, right? He has a left hook. Chavez is sort of a celebrity still in Mexico. Is that fair to call him? Or they like to watch him? Obviously, he's entertaining, right? Because I
Mhm.
see a lot of clips of the young man.
Mhm.
Um,
He's sort of like a Mexican Adrian Broner. I mean,
there you
I
go.
guess they just
That's where
like
I
to
was
see
leaning
they like
towards.
to see the train wreck, right?
There you go. And a lot of people do,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, so it works. The fight works. And yes, if Chavez was to beat, I mean Tommy Fury, excuse me, beat Jake Paul, right? So it wouldn't be far fetched if Chavez does get
Mhm.
beat him. Um, Everyone's talking about it being a fixed fight. I hope not. Uh, I hope Jake Paul's doing this for reals. I don't know why you would want to even play with a fighter like Zuro Ramirez or even have him on the card. And if you were going to try to get him to at this point, I don't think Jake Paul's faking. I think I said that before, even on the Tyson one. I wanted to say, I remember they told Tyson to hold back. It was sparring, but there was no script, right? There was no you're going down at this point, I'm doing this and you're doing that's all BS. I'm hoping Chavez Jr. and Jake Paul's the real deal. Jake is really making a run at this title. Because look, you guys, if he wins any title, I don't give a shit if it's against Canelo or if it's against Zuro at cruiserweight. That's a huge accomplishment for him. That's something that we said would never happen 2 years ago, right? And now here we are. And yeah, it's an awesome fight. It was an awesome call by you. Um, And it kind of shows, yeah, it kind of shows that Jake Paul knows what he's doing because he's gonna make a shitload of money on this, and really, it's all because Chavez has got an Adrian Broner like character. It's not what he does in the ring, but I expect the Mexicans to tune in. Look, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you, he's lucky he didn't follow your full game plan and put this on Cinco de Mayo. Do you know how lucky Turkey and Canelo are? Because right now Canelo's fighting a guy named William Scully. Is that
Skull.
Skull?
Yeah.
Absolute nobody. And what we're going to talk about later on might be an absolute just the future of unknown for Canelo if this is really where they're taking him. He's lucky Jake Paul and Chavez and Zuro ain't going up heads with him because I'm going to tell you right now, Friday night I would have purchased and Saturday night. Now, what sucks about it is the pay-per-view angle. I was
Mhm.
hoping Netflix, but I'm telling you, if they would have had that on Netflix, I'm not watching Canelo on Saturday. I'm just not.
Well, you're not ordering Canelo on Saturday.
I'm not ordering.
there's
Yeah,
there's ways to watch it still.
I hear you,
Just
but
saying.
bro, I'm gonna be tied into the other one. I mean,
Right, right.
yeah, it's
And
it.
add to that the card, like on the undercard of the co-main event for the Canelo card is, Bruno Suras and Munguia rematch. Like people are gonna,
Right,
I mean,
right.
and we have a legitimate cruiserweight champion, Zurdo, on the undercard of the co-main event, or I'm not even sure which one's gonna be. I mean, the poster makes it look like Zurdo and this dude, Uniel Dorticos, is the co-main event. That's the way the poster makes it look, and I have to assume that's how it's gonna be, right?
Yeah,
But that I mean, granted, we may not be too familiar with Zurdo's opponent, but Zurdo's not coming off a loss like fucking Munguia is. So if only Jake would have followed that game plan. Hell, free on Netflix and Cinco de Mayo weekend, dude, that would have been freaking insane. They would have broken the shit out of. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix was like, no, no, please, you're gonna fucking break us for real. Like with all the people that are gonna be tuning in, it definitely it sucks that it's going to be on pay per view. Now, hopefully, it's going to be at a reasonable price. Um, I don't know what that would be, but to your point, it looks like this is the plan, the two fight plan, right? Beat Chavez, get a little bit of maybe heat from the Mexican fans, right? A little bit of hate. Fight Zurdo Ramirez. Chances are you're gonna get your ass beat against Zurdo, but does that kind of make Zurdo a star?
Oh,
Maybe
absolutely.
he's sacrificing himself in such a selfless, the considerate guy that Jake Paul is. Says, you know what? I'm gonna be such a villain that when my next fight comes around with his Zurdo, considering Ramirez wins, chances are he was gonna be a heavy favorite, but he wins, and then in a star-making fight, the guy who completely, beat the living piss out of Jake Paul, the Mexican hero in Zurdo Ramirez, and completely eclipse Canelo? Is that what he's trying to do?
I don't know if he eclipsed him. It's just a good
Well,
two
make
fight.
the attempt. Whether he does it or not, it's the attempt to do that.
Yeah, but I don't. It's just a good two fight deal. I think you start with that, right? It's gonna make him a lot of money. It's gonna get him exposure, and if it does get him the Jake Paul fight, I mean, you're talking about him being in houses, homes that he's never been in before, right? Once again, though, people, it's on pay-per-view, and that really hurts this because I am so shocked that Netflix didn't want another run at the 60 million views.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're not even a part of this. Like I was looking at the poster
I
right now,
know.
and it doesn't say anything about Netflix.
I know it says the zone pay-per-view, and it's De La Hoya's got Zuro on the bottom. He fights for DAZN, right? Golden Boy usually has all of his guys on DAZN, so you would there could be reasons why they couldn't go to Netflix. It's a real bummer because the fight's hot, but it ain't $89 hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they can't put too much on this one because, like I just said, Chavez is just getting out of rehab. Do you know that he was just in rehab?
I know he's been in and out of rehab, but I don't know how recent. No.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Like yeah, you might want to look it up on the gram, man. I think he's like in a facility doing mitts or some shit. It's not looking good in some of these videos.
In the facility doing mitts?
Yeah.
Is he like pulling up his fucking bed like Sarah Connor? She's in the psych ward, like doing pull-ups and shit. Oh, good.
His little butt's hanging out of his fucking gown.
Yeah, wearing his pink boxers. He's fucking known for. Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it could have been that recent, man. So I'm hoping they come at a very reasonable price. Let's do that Turki Ali special where it's like $40. Then I'm all in. 90, I mean, Miguel, I'll probably still buy it, but it's going to leave a bad taste in my mouth if it's a sucky ass card or if Chavez is like a shell of his fucking former self. And he has been pumping out the videos. They haven't been impressive, but he still chunks that left hook, right? He throws it with everything he has. And that's really all he has.
A puncher's chance.
And the left hook. He's had his dad's left hook, right? It's not as perfect as it, but it was his power shot. That was his money shot, and he's, it's got him. It almost knocked out Martinez, right?
Yeah, sure.
It almost got him there. So it's a huge step for Jake Paul. Let's see what is Chavez 40? That was one thing I read in the comments. Is he that old now?
I think he's 38. So he's
he's getting there. He's
getting there. One of the most recent articles that I've found, it was like Chavez Jr. or Chavez Sr. reveals that his son does not want to leave the rehab clinic. That was the 23rd of March. So we're talking about a little under a month. So 3 weeks ago, at least according to this article, he was still in rehab. And this is kind of my concern is that I don't see a reason for this fight to not be legitimate, and I'm saying, Jake Paul trying to pay Chavez to take a dive or to throw the fight is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think there's a reason for that because Chavez is a shell anyway of his former self. I think he could legitimately beat him, even if there was no, agreement or, backstage agreement or behind closed doors saying like, hey, you don't throw that left hook to me kind of thing, the way they did maybe to some degree with Tyson, like don't go full power on him. I don't even think that's necessary for Chavez because of how much of a shell he is. All you have to do really is put pressure on Chavez, and he doesn't throw any fucking punches at this point. He's basically, he'll cover up, he'll shell up, and he won't throw back, he won't counter. So as long as Jake Paul has the cardio to just throw consistently for however many rounds, because up to this point, we don't know if it's going to be an 8-round fight or a 10-round fight or what size of the gloves are going to be, et cetera, the way it was with
the WBA might have a title involved that should make it a 10 or 12, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, if there's a title involved, then I assume
it's only 12. All right.
I
I
guess
didn't know if those weak
even title.
titles. I don't know if those, the fucking WBA Intercontinental might be a 10 rounder. You know what I'm saying? Something
You're
weird
right.
like.
Sometimes they are though. Sometimes they are. So it
All
could
right.
be. It might be a 10 rounder. And then the size of the gloves. What's the limit? I forget. I know it's 10 ounces or 10. No. What is it? 12 ounces for heavyweights or I
the
forget.
the size of the gloves, but really it's the size of the fighters, right? Because we've really never seen Chavez at 200 plus pounds coming in the ring, so
Mhm.
that's going to also be another big difference that we don't know what Chavez is going to look like the night of the fight. So there's some advantages for Jake Paul right off the top that he doesn't need to stage anything on this. And to be honest, like I want to say last week we talked about him fighting for legacy and how he had strayed away from that. I thought when he lost to Tommy Fury, I thought he got like maybe a little bit of awakening and was like, all right, let's go back to the easy fucking paydays. And then here we are 7 days later, and we're back to fighting real boxers and freaking. And if he gets past Chavez, it's pointing in the direction. I know Oscar already came out and was like, they didn't say anything about Zuro fighting Jake, but I mean, come on. If the Mexicans show up, they do great numbers. He knocks out Chavez or makes him look bad, and Zuro says, "Hey, I want to get it back for my people." They're gonna get behind him. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
and
Sure.
and I think everyone's tired at this point. A lot of the MMA world's tired of seeing Jake Paul. The boxing world's tired of seeing Jake Paul. Now he's moving over to the Mexican boxing fan base. Let them get tired of him, and Zuro, that's a good money fight for Zuro. I think he's all in. So, and then it's his belt that came out and said they were looking to put a belt on Jake. That's gonna make him a fucking mandatory to the guy that's on the undercard. Like, I'm sorry, Oscar just makes too much sense. We're not all on dope, dude. We're not. can't get this one biased. The pieces just kind of fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would almost be a fumble on De La Hoya's side as a promoter if he doesn't get Zuro the fight. If Jake Paul beats Chavez. And my last thing on this fight, Miguel, that we have to talk about is, does Chavez have one more training camp in him? Right? With you confirming the reports that 3 weeks ago the young man is still in rehab, can he stay clean till June 28th and not find himself in either rehab, the hospital, or fucking jail because he can't stay off the shit? And they find him techno dancing in the fucking street.
Yeah, doing ladders after fucking the rave.
Do you remember that when he used to
Yes.
party in his front yard? Dude, that dude was crazy.
Yeah.
Chavez is crazy.
Yeah, and mind you, the fight is scheduled for the 28th, so that's April, May, June, 2 full months from now. I mean,
That's what I mean. Yes.
can he make it? Is he another Ryan Garcia type? It's like shit. Is he even gonna make it to the fucking fight considering his
Take him to the
track?
mountains. You got to take him to the mountains, man. I mean, you got to get him out of the whatever connections he has. He might be strung out the first week. You clean him up and then go get to training.
It's
I
it's
know
really
it's
cool.
bad, but bro, you confirmed that on March 23rd he was in a facility, and I could have swore I seen it on his I seen a few pictures on Instagram of videos where he was either trying to get clean or making those dumb, making the videos that Chavez Jr. usually makes
Sure, sure,
when
sure.
he's in rehab.
Yeah,
But you confirmed it, and so it is what it is, right? That's
right.
that's a very big possibility that Jake Paul needs to worry about this young man not even being there for the fight. I
But
would pay if I'm Jake Paul, pay to get him into training camp somewhere away from Mexico. Big
that's
Bear.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, if let's say going down, the rabbit hole of let's say um Chavez can stay clean, right? Do you think? I mean, I don't know how much he's going to get paid. I don't know what the purse is. We haven't even talked about that because the fight was just announced, so we don't even have those details yet. But is there an incentive? Like, uh, I don't know how. uh, I said earlier that there's really no need for Jake Paul to stage this fight, right? Considering how much of a shell Chavez Jr. is, but is there maybe an extra like, hey, dude, make it clean until fight night, a little bit more your way, and maybe we can, you can stay clean long enough for the fight, and then afterwards you'll have much more of a bonus or whatever for staying clean. But of course, that comes with, I'll pay you this little extra, but don't throw me that left hook the way, just to guarantee that he makes it to the fight, to guarantee that the fight goes through, and to guarantee that Jake Paul comes out the winner. Is that enough of an incentive?
See, we're gonna get serious right here, but we're talking about substance abuse, right? And I don't know what substance Chavez is on. The big one is cocaine. Obviously, that's the one they say that he's always liked. Cocaine has a lot of fentanyl in it right now, even coming from Mexico. If he got hooked on that, that's a very hard drug to just kick, especially if you're in the environment, right, that has it
Sure.
at your disposal. So it's up to Chavez right now. See, look, there's two different mindsets a person on substance abuse is going to have. He's either going to get clean in that facility and realize that he has one more payday left to try to make his life right, because this is life-changing money. I got to think Jake Paul's bringing life-changing money. And I know the kid has had probably multiple checks that were life-changing money, and he's blown them all away. So let's hope
his life, but for the worse.
Yeah. So let's hope that in the facility he got a clear mind, and his family or whatever said, "Hey, man, Jake Paul is offering you one more fucking shot at glory. You got it. You have to stay clean. We've got to get this money. Yada yada yada. Right? Then we have a fight. But if he's told you they always gonna need me, I'm Chavez Jr. I'm always gonna be here. Blah blah blah. And his corner can't control him, and he's still blowing off in the nighttime doing whatever the fuck he wants. No. This is going to be all bad. It's going to be Jake Paul knocking Chavez out. I mean, Jake Paul's too young. He's too athletic. He's too big. He's going to be on steroids. Like, there are all signs point to him knocking out Chavez if Chavez is a junkie in this fight. Chavez, I don't want to say barely, but damn, dude, he was barely a fighter, right? He was a lot of paper champ in there. There was a lot of matchmaking skills going on with Top. This is Top Rank at their heyday, you know what I'm saying? So as a junkie, you probably hit it on the head. The punches won't be coming. He won't be countering. He'll be shelling up. Yeah, you probably hit it on the head with that. So it's up to Julio, which man he's going to bring to the ring that night. Defend his dad's name? Probably not.
No, definitely not. If he has anything from his pops, it's the last name, it's the left hook, and the ability to take an ass whooping, because he takes an ass whooping. And I'll be honest, I don't even think he's gonna get knocked out, dude. Like I think Jake is just gonna fuck him up, but he's not gonna go down. Like he's such a
200 pounds though.
Yeah. Well,
it's a lot bigger this time.
True. Yeah, I don't know.
And to Lee, what if this is the meltdown we've been waiting for? Wouldn't that be another one for our guy?
Yeah.
He's like, it's my dad's fault. After the fight, he just breaks. Oh man, rest in peace, bro.
That was.
That was Lee. Look at he froze you. Lee just froze you, dog. That's hella funny.
Did I freeze it, bro?
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. I'm back. All right, cool. Sorry.
Yep. He was saying hi.
Oh, say hi. But yeah. So I just got to mention. But yes, it's what is do you think that Zurdo has any sort of like maybe ill feelings, the fact that he's going to be the co-main event to Jake Paul? I know that there's a potential, future fight. So is there maybe like a chip on his shoulder where at least Oscar's like, yeah, relax. You'll be the co-main event here, but the next one you'll be the main event with Jake?
Absolutely not. This is a maximize your profits kind of fight, right? Look, if this is played right, I give Jake Paul a little advice here. Bring the Puerto Rico flag, okay? Let's give him a little advice. At the first press conference, put your heart on Puerto Rico in front of Mexico and watch what happens to you. Matter of fact, do a little Hopkins. Maybe grab a fucking flag out of someone's hand. Yeah. Dead serious. Watch what happens. This thing is maximize the fucking profits for for his championship fight. Can you believe? Jake Paul, Zuro, WBA Cruiserweight Championship fight. It's unreal, but we're there.
Mhm.
We're absolutely there right now. And so no, I think Zuro, you got to take this moment in. Let Jake Paul do his thing. He's got a lot of eyeballs on him. He's a YouTube star. He's kind of big in boxing right now as far as on the American side. I'm not going to call him the face, obviously, but he's one of them. He's up there, right? Because of his celebrity side of his YouTube. Um, so yeah, no, that's I think Zudo sits back and just takes this all in and really learn from this, what how Jake Paul fights, how he manipulates Chavez during the promotion of it, you know what I mean? Try to figure him
Mhm.
out for when you have to go up against it. So,
Do you think Jake would be as much of a like? Do you think he would take this villain role to such a degree that he would maybe bring um, the dysfunction that Chavez and Senior and Junior have outside of the ring to throw that in his face? Like, yeah, I'll show like what your dad was hoping you were gonna be. Like, I'm gonna be that fucking night in that ring to go to that extreme. Like, do you
I
think he'd be that of a villain?
I believe he already did it. I want
Oh,
to say he's already said the father one. I'm gonna
oh,
beat
did
him.
he? Oh
Yeah,
shit!
I think Jake Paul's already used their
Wow.
relationship against them.
Okay.
And look, he'd be smart to do it. He needs this thing to go viral, right? It's
Mhm.
not gonna sell just off of Chavez's name, in my opinion. Chavez is known in America, but he hasn't been known for a while, right? I know in Mexico they have him on TV a lot, and he's got his little downfalls, and everything is very in the open publicly over there. But in America, not too much. So if they could get a little face off where, I mean, I am sure Jake Paul's gonna wear the
Sombrero.
sombrero, yeah, do all that, and I'm legit saying I'd put Puerto Rico on my back. I mean, they've already asked why is Puerto Rico on the poster. Carry the
Mhm.
flag in. Go to Mexico City and bring the Puerto Rican flag. Say I'm gonna Trinidad his ass, or how Trinidad knocked out Compas. Just poke him a little. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And let's get wake up this bear. Have everyone freaking cheering for Chavez, even though we all know he's a junkie. We'll be like, you better fucking do it.
Yeah. Hey,
Charles would be
I'm
like
here.
this. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. What the
Yeah.
fuck? I'm clean. I'm
Yeah.
clean.
He's like have like Chap whoop his ass. Like, oh yeah, I got it. Yeah. I can take this dude. I mean, I was cheering Chavez when he fought fucking Sergio Martinez. I knew he
Oh,
was gonna get his
bro.
ass handed to him, but I'm like, God damn it, just throw shit.
I
Stop shutting
couldn't.
up.
That fucking 12th round is a
Yeah.
thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. You know what?
Mm,
All of Chavez's faults in training comes out in that 12th round. The
mm.
sports gods, they were like, nah, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get you right there and then take it from you because you've always disrespected your dad. You always thought he ain't shit. Like he was like, see, dad, I am gonna do it. I am gonna do it. And then he
Yeah.
doesn't do it. And it's like, fuck. If you
Yeah.
fucking trained, you would have knocked him out.
Yeah. You would have done this in the seventh round, motherfucker.
Ugh,
God
you
damn it.
know that's what his dad was saying. His dad was like, you were miles, you were a few miles away, but you don't want to run. You don't want to do your workouts at the gym. You want to be in your fucking pink underwear eating Cheerios at the house.
Yeah. At noon, waking up at noon,
Dude
going to the
had one
fucking gym at
leg.
2.
He
Yeah.
had one
Yes.
fucking leg.
Hmm.
It was so, dude. That place was crazy. That fight was awesome. Yeah, I'd never been in a 12th round like that. That was probably the best 12th round I'd ever been in. When Chavez almost knocks him out, the
Oh,
fucking
you were
place.
there. You actually
Oh
were
hell
at
yeah,
Tax Center at the
dude!
fight. Right?
Dude, I'm telling you, they threw beer. There was so much beer getting thrown when that knockdown happens, bro. I just shut my computer. I put it away because he fucking got hit like a cup immediately. But then everything was flying. The people were going crazy. I was going crazy. I didn't give a
Oh
shit.
yeah.
I think I even had 400 or 500 on Chavez. You know how I am. So I was. He's the underdog. Of course I had money. So I'm screaming too, like fucking hit him. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it, Miguel. And he was limping. Yeah, that was a badass fight. And then I never knew about the beef between Argentina and Mexico.
Mm.
There was a lot of shit going on out there in the stands, in the casinos, like just the soccer
Mhm.
jersey rivalry, right? When they would see each other, and then some taxi cab guy was like, "Yeah, dude, these guys are always at each other's heads in soccer." I was like, "Oh, this fight is gonna be off the fucking hook," and then it was. And yeah, no, I know Chavez Senior was smiling a little at the end. He was like, "You did good, but ah, told
Yeah.
you."
No, that's understandable. I mean, we were all watching it because it was like it was the same night that I think Chavez or Canelo fought like
Canelo,
Jose Cito
yes,
Lopez or who the fuck I forgot who the
that's
hell it
it.
was. Was it
Chris,
Lopez?
Christina went to go see him.
Oh,
She was at Canelo. Yeah, I
that
was
that
like,
was funny.
nah.
We were watching it at a family member's house, and we did lose our shit for just a brief second. We're like, God damn! After every round, we're like, "Ah, there's another round, there's another round, there's another round, and then the 12th comes, and we all lose our shit. All right, so check this out. So it's gonna be on pay-per-view, right? Um, Ideally, what do you think a good price would be for a pay-per-view like this? It's a double header, not too bad. Southern California, Honda Center, used to be, I believe, the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim at one point. Um, all right. What do you think? Is there enough? I mean, do you think it'll sell out, or do you think they'll do really, really good tickets at the gate? I mean,
Man, it matters how good they sell this fight. If Jake Paul thinks this is gonna be just a cakewalk and he don't have to put any time or effort into this, it might not do good at all. Right? Like I said, Chavez is kind of known. He's just not known right now in America, known enough to, I think, where people are going to be like, yeah, I got to go see him with no promoting at all, right? Nothing viral, no face off where they get into it or anything.
sure.
How boxers usually sell these fights. So no, I think this all depends on how much they promote. Like even Zuro's gonna bring a certain amount of fan base, but he doesn't got a key. He doesn't sell out arenas and do all that. You know what I mean? So so he's limited. This is about them all coming together. De La Hoya being on the podium, selling it too. You know, De La Hoya's got to sell this fight too with the Mexican community. And really, we have to believe in Chavez again. And if that's because Jake Paul is flaunting Puerto Rico and disrespecting the flag, well, so be it. Then we'll back him because of that. Or, you know, we back him because Chavez gets his shit together and starts putting out videos like he's ready to be the Chavez of old. And basically all we're asking is for him to keep throwing that left hook because Jake Paul's not a real professional fighter. You just got to hit this kid. Jake Paul might be like, what the fuck, you know, and start backing up. And I know he just got through Mike, but he got through a 60-year-old Mike. There's probably a lot of grown men that could take Mike Tyson's punch after he's 60 years of age. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a grandpa. Let's leave the man alone. Like, and that night, Tyson couldn't have looked more human. You know what I'm saying? The limping, the falling down. He couldn't. It looked like those are one of those street fights where the young guy's going, "Come on, OG. Come on, OG." Right? The dude's from prison, been knocking out people his whole life. Now he's just like, "Come on, OG. Stop that. Stop that. You're fucking around." That's what Mike is right now. Mike's a shell of his former self. So all we need Chavez to do, throw the left hook. Let's see if we can land this fucking thing and
Yeah,
see
because
what it does.
there aren't too many people that have gone to Jake's body, have they? Like at least not that I know.
No.
They all tend to go to the head and try to maybe they go in there with a certain amount of hatred and want to take his head off, and understandably so. But it's like there's more to that. You know, there's uppercuts, there's double jabs up and down, whatever. And it doesn't seem like he's been tested to the body yet.
Hey, this is all for commercial. I'm not saying it's real, but wouldn't it be a great story if Chavez Jr. brought his father to train him just one time? Just one. We just need Chavez to teach him that rope fucking work, right? Right hand, double left hook. Or we're going to mix it up. But if that's the kind of storyline this fight needs to get it hot in Mexico, right? And we're like, oh, they reunited. They're going to take on the fucking bad boy American who just fucking, does what he does. Yeah. They need a storyline like that. So I'm all in for Chavez Sr. hopefully returning. Don't be is it Eubank Sr.?
Yeah.
What a dick.
Yeah,
what
right?
a dick.
Disgrace. I will never be.
Guy's a jerk, man. I know. What did your son do to you, bro?
I know, right? That's and it's like if your son did that to you, you raised him, motherfucker. So point the finger back at yourself over there.
Yeah, that was. Don't please, Senior. Do not be Eubank Senior.
Yeah, I've already seen too many Chavez like Senior that fucking meme where he's like covering his face and shit. It's like, all right, that's all we need. We don't need any more of that. No more of that. Just do that, like yeah kind of thing. So price range. What do you think the pay-per-view should be?
Like I said, I have $40, bro, is what I'm hoping, right? Yeah, okay. Because Zuro's not that big, right? He's been on pay-per-view maybe once, Did Zuro and Bevo go on pay-per-view or no?
No, I don't think so. No.
No,
I'm
is
sure we'll just later
ESPN or some
No,
or
DAZN. I think
DAZN?
it's DAZN, yeah.
DAZN, okay. Yeah, so I would say 40 because look, we're insiders and we know what we're up against here with Chavez Jr., right? He's not really worth 89. Miguel, he's not worth 89.
No.
So, and Zuro, I don't even know his opponent. Now, Zuro versus, this is where you get me on the next deal. Zuro versus Jake. If they both win, I will fork up the $90 to watch this fucking YouTuber go for it all.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the plan, though. That's the plan. It's get it spicy. Get him to beat Chavez. Get more of the Mexican hate on him, and then we have the Mexican. And
then
come and slay the dragon.
And then he's in the driver's seat with Canelo. I know I'm going hella far down the road, but Canelo Canelo or Benavidez on. He's in the driver's seat at that point.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He may not eclipse Canelo, but that's definitely the plan. It's like, oh my gosh, we had this dude that so-and-so didn't want to do. Canelo didn't want to fight him, yada, yada, right? And of course, they can always spin the story however they want to spin it, as if it's Canelo that's one that's ducking Jake. But regardless, he's not fighting Jake. Zurdo comes in, mops the floor with him or whatever, and he's the fucking hero. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's our Mexican hero that, people, Canelo has a fuck ton of haters, right? We know this, right? So that people are gonna totally jump ship and hop on the sort of the bandwagon as soon as the fight is announced. So,
right.
Yeah. And then a pretty good location, right? Southern California, Anaheim, California. That's a pretty good place to get that shit.
Perfect.
That's
yes.
If they do promote it the way you're saying, the way they should promote it, that place. I don't know.
It's sold out.
Let's see.
If he can get the Mexicans riled up, bro, if he can get them mad, I'm sorry, that stadium's gonna be sold out for the fight. It's all how they promote this thing.
18,000. I think they can get.
Fuck yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, man. Guaranteed. Because Miguel, you got to remember, some of them are going to be Jake Paul fans, right? The kid brings his own fan base. So, yeah, no, they just need to sell it right. We don't want it a pro Jake crowd. Then it's not going to get 18,000. Might get 8,000, 10,000, something like that. We need both to come in. We need this thing to be a soccer game. We need you to throw the flag, Jake. I'm sorry. You got to rip it out of the hand and throw it to the ground. And run, baby. Fucking run. Remember, Hopkins was out.
Jake Paul's gonna show up to the press conference with like white stuff under his nose. Be like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, yeah." Just like, "What? Oh, sorry. I didn't know. Something totally fucked up like that. Just to be as much.
Or fake bag. Go, hey.
Yeah.
It's either this or the paycheck. Yeah. I'm being a dick, you guys. I'm being a dick.
You have like a fake speed bag, but instead of a speed bag, it's a little like Coke bag. With a little fucking sandwich bag.
Determination. Yes. Motivation.
All right. Hard work. Motivation.
Oh, Chavez.
Oh my gosh. These jokes write themselves.
He said like Oscar, eh?
Yeah, you can't make this shit up, guys. The jokes write themselves. That's my impression of Chuck. Not as good as our homeboy Lee. He's like, hey, bro, hey. Mario. Oh, good Lord. All right. Well, that leads us to our next story. Again, more fight announcements. In fact, there's actually breaking news that I just pulled up on my fucking phone.
Hell yeah.
Before I get to that breaking news, Shakur Stevenson. Well, it's about Shakur. Shakur Stevenson is going to be taking on William Zepeda. He will be defending his WBC lightweight championship. And I believe it's going to happen July 2nd. I had it up here momentarily, but it's going to happen later this summer. And it seems like we finally going to get the fight that we want to see, right? This is one of those fights. Maybe what we were hoping Shakur versus Valdez was going to be, and it didn't turn out to be that way. Maybe this is it. Maybe we're going to get it. I believe Zepeda is still undefeated, right? I mean, nobody's beaten him yet. So, bam, we had ourselves this. And granted, maybe
he just had a little bit of a scare.
Yeah.
Right. The last fight was a little. I was like,
and mind you, I don't know which one the main event or the co-main event is going to be, but we're also going to have a WBC super middleweight title eliminator between Edgar Berlanga and Hamzah Sheeraz. That is going to be pretty entertaining, right? But hey, you know what? I don't know what's going to be the main event or the co-main event. I'm not sure which one is which, but
I'm telling you, Miguel, it's Turkey's guy, Berlanga, and the other dude, Shamazam.
Shazam. Hamzah Sheeraz, if I can get that fucking name right.
We will soon.
Soon enough. As long as we repeat it more enough.
Yeah. But it's going to be him.
Kapataya enough times. I'm sure we can pronounce this one.
It's going to be him. Turki. This is a shot Turki's calling on his own. I think the guy's building him up to fight Canelo next, man. As soon as I seen this card, Miguel, as soon as I seen Berlanga versus that dude, I was like, oh my God, he is not going for Berlanga. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be another fight where you see Turki in the stands rooting on the guy, and you're like, you can't do that. But he's definitely going to be going for Shazam. There's the writing's just too on the walls with that one. They already got Canelo fighting this Scully. They got no future for him. He's like giving him a give me fight to get him ready for this guy because I think it's Turki. Remember we said he's looking for a face, and it'd be awesome if it was a guy from that region, and here we are, right? Mm-hmm. Not saying he's from that region, but
his ethnicity.
There you go.
Look at the name, Hamzah Sheeraz. Hello,
yeah,
you know?
I don't know if he's Muslim, but it kind of sounds like he's. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I had to lay money on the board in Las Vegas, I would go Muslim. So, right. So I'm not trying to be a dick here, guys, but and
I think he's English, and there's a very, very heavy community of Muslims in the UK. Yes. So I'm going to read this from Ring Magazine, their Instagram post. Ring Magazine 3, I guess that's the name of the show, will take place July 12th in New York City with Edgar Berlanga versus Hamzah Sheeraz in a WBC super middleweight title eliminator, and Shakur Stevenson defending his WBC lightweight title against William Zepeda, Mike Coppinger has learned. Also on the card, we have Alberto Puello taking on Subriel Matias for the WBC 140-pound title. All right. For as much as...
That's a rematch, correct? Isn't that the guy that beat him in Puerto Rico?
Oh shit, is it? I think you're right. Actually,
I think that's the Australian. He went over there. Remember, Christina told me to bet on it. I was like, babe, he's fighting in Puerto Rico against some fucking dude I don't even know. Then the guy wins. It's like, what the?
Good Lord. No, I'm not. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. No, it was. No, I don't think that's him.
Matias.
Yeah, because the Matias dude is the one who lost to
Paro.
Paro, yeah, or Paro.
Oh, what's this guy's name? I thought it was Paro.
No. Puello, Alberto.
Okay, not a rematch. Well, I thought it was cool if it was a rematch though, because I would like to see Matias go try to get that victory back. You know what I mean? Where they can just blow over that and act like it didn't happen. It's not a good start to your career, buddy.
Yeah. No, but I think we thought we were going to get one of the Russell brothers, Gary Anton Russell, who defeated, Valenzuela recently. He lost to Puello in a very close split decision. So I thought he was going to get the rematch. It ultimately ended up being now Subriel Matias, who lost his IBF belt some time ago to Paro. But yeah, so that one's not going to be a rematch. But regardless, that's a pretty solid fight that we can get on the undercard of that one, right on top of everything else. What was I going to go with this? Oh yeah, so the way this Instagram post makes it seem, it sounds as though Berlanga is the main event. That's the way it sounded. And mind you, I've read bits and pieces. First, there was the announcement of Zepeda and Shakur, and then this fight was announced. And then when this fight was announced on this Instagram post by Mike Coppinger, it makes it sound like Berlanga's the main event. So that's what it looks like, at least. But in regards...
Sold out?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm asking you a question.
Yes,
sold
sir.
out. Do you
Sold
think
out?
Shazam and Berlanga sells out Dubai?
Well,
or not Dubai, Riyadh. Excuse me, Riyadh.
No. This is going to be in New York.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it says it will take place July 12th in New York City. So chances are MSG.
Wow, what a curveball there!
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
So yeah,
I don't even know how that works, Miguel. They're gonna bring that kid. Well, because Europeans now we got to go to where he's from, right? We know his descent, but now where he's from is Europe, the UK, correct?
Yes.
They don't do good in America. Turkey, you're doing it. Turkey better look at the history of UK fighters coming over to America for their first big fights, man. It usually doesn't turn out well. Ooh.
Yeah, and
man, Berlanga got it.
Berlanga's backyard, right?
Yeah, Berlanga got a big time positive there. That's huge for Berlanga, man.
Yep.
Wow.
And a WBC title eliminator, coming off of this victory that he had recently against the hot dog vendor guy, and now he's put in a what appears to be a main event position.
That makes
Now,
the fight. That makes the fight a little even. You
yeah,
know, if Berlanga had to go to Rehab, I was that's why I was leaning into Turkey, cheering on the fucking on the sidelines and all that. But
yeah. Hey, no, he might do that shit in New York too. But that fucker doesn't
but
give a fuck. He'll do it anyway.
he won't have the same impression with the New York judges, right? These American judges, unless they bring guys from Rehab, but if the commission gets to do their judges like they usually do, right? We don't. They're not going to be like, oh, Turkey's saying yeah to that guy. Let's do that. Because boxing is continuing in America with or without Turkey. I think we all realize that when he did what he did with Dana and got the backlash that he did from everyone else. So I don't see the commission, him being as what's the word? Influence the official. Influential on the officials as much as he would in Rehab in his own, whereas it could be damn near his brother-in-law as the judge. I have no idea, Miguel.
Yeah. That's some pretty harsh accusations there. It's like it was his next door neighbor.
Brother-in-law.
Yeah. It's like it's his doorman from his fucking house.
Do they even have a commissioner or is it the prince? You know what I mean? He's like, I will tell you who the judges are. Yeah, get the doorman. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's that guy that mowed my lawn. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Toss him in there. I know a person. I hired him myself.
He almost let me choke. Jesus.
Here's some more news to make you choke in regards to one Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson leaves Matchroom for DeBella Entertainment. What?
Wow.
Shakur Stevenson has split from Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing and has hired Lou DiBella as his promoter for his upcoming July 12th fight, according to a report by Dan Rafel. Wow, that was like literally as I'm pulling that up because I was looking at the story to see if I can find whether or not Zepeda Stevenson is the main event or Hamzah and fucking Berlanga, and then pow, it pops up on my damn Instagram. So, okay, all right, well that's a little bit.
I'm trying to think when the last time Lou DiBella has been involved in big fights. Are we talking Jermaine Taylor?
Wow, I mean that's the last that I can remember. I mean, I would have.
I can remember
that it was. I mean, as far as like major pay-per-view fights, probably 07, 08.
Like an interview. When's the last time Lou's been on a mic?
I've seen him. He was interviewed by the MMA dude Ariel Helwani. He interviewed him on his show. I want to say in regards to this whole TKO thing. I think, or not TKO. It might have been just His Excellency and him in the getting into boxing. He talked about the pros and cons about it as well. So I think that's the last time it happened, and that was maybe about a year ago, a year and a half, something like that. Maybe a little bit sooner. But that's the last time I even seen him in the media, really, in regards to boxing, because I thought he wasn't really in boxing anymore. I thought he was doing concerts or some other shit. I thought he was already onto some other media or form of entertainment.
Yeah, no, that's a curveball. It is kind of a curveball. Look, we all love Lou. Lou's a good guy. He was good when he worked for HBO, right? He wasn't a pushover. He knew what fights were good, what wasn't. Hopefully Turkey has him involved a little bit behind the scenes. Or out front. It doesn't matter. DiBella's good. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Shakur gave him a phone call out of nowhere. You want to get back in?
Yeah, right. And that's, I mean, is that
how lucky too? Well, I think so, Miguel, because Lou has a lot of experience in the boxing world. He's not a rookie. You know what I mean? Like he worked as a executive for HBO in the boxing programming, and so he can help out with that. He can also bring maybe a lot of HBO's. Maybe he still has a lot upstairs of what they used to do, how it worked, how they were getting so many homes, right? Where he can reach out to Turkey through Shakur and get that established. I think it's a positive for Shakur and for Turkey himself, because look, I've told you a few times, I'm not impressed with Eddie Hearn as far as a scout, as far as him running the zone, the matchmaking, the undercards. It's all trash, dude. Like Eddie, DAZN's cards are trash right now. Maybe we need a little DeBella in there to help Turkey with the matchmaking and the programming of his Ring TV uh, um, um, tel- website, television, whatever it's going to be. TKO is Dana White. Dana White will do that. Bring in someone for the Ring magazine. What is it called? Ring TV, correct? That's what they're going to be running a lot of this.
I'm not sure. I mean, I always thought it was Ring Magazine TV. No.
All right, Ring Magazine TV, whatever it is, bring DeBella in to run that programming, right? Maybe give you an honest opinion of what it's like to run boxing, because we all know boxing. There's ways to get guys fighting that cheap. HBO used to do it too. HBO wasn't handing out $1 million checks to everybody on their cards, right?
Yeah, right.
Maybe DeBella's like, Dana's cool, but no, this is the price range. With inflation, obviously, it's going to go up, but this is the price range you need to be at to get some of these young guns. I don't know. I think it's positive. I like it for Shakur, and I like it for Turkey.
Because I was going to ask you that, like, what do you think happened? Like, do you think it's just like Shakur? Because I want to say it was supposed to be like some sort of 2-fight deal or something. One fight fell through, and then the other one, because I think he injured his hand, and then one where he had to, he was going to fight Schofield, right? And then Schofield dropped out, and they put someone else in there. And I don't know if after that officially he's a free agent all of a sudden, and then he can go ahead and sign with somebody else. But I don't know if it was a short-term deal that he had with Matchroom, and that just expired, I guess. Because I mean, for him to jump ship like that. I guess what I was asking earlier when I said it was a smart deal, if it was smart before a big fight like this, like is it not that of a crucial jump? It's not like jumping to a different trainer before a major fight. It's a promoter. It's not that big a deal.
As long as Turkey's okay with the situation, he has nothing to be worried about. Eddie Hearn's a messenger at this point. Eddie Hearn, he's out of the loop on as far as power decisions. Like I don't see a Bob Arum, Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley thing happening where he's like, okay, I want him to lose now. You know what I mean? Like Turkey would probably have his head fucking if you found out he was fixing fights under his, not even his guidance, but the guidance of the Prince of Saudi Arabia, right? So I don't see him having that power anymore. I think as long as Ali Sheik is all right with DeBella stepping in and working with him, then they're going to work with him and move on.
This is kind of a blow to Matchroom, huh? I mean,
last
fight with Berlanga. Now he's a free agent, and now this one here. Damn, what's happening? What's going on? I mean, they were supposed to put on, some of the better. I mean, when we see people jump ship to like, guys like him from Top Rank, like him, both Berlanga and Shakur came from Top Rank. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, this is the place to be now, I suppose, right? This is kind of like, and then they find out firsthand, like, fuck this.
No. Is he under DeBella Entertainment, or is DeBella like a manager / advisor? Is he just reading the contracts over? Like that's kind of what we need to see what his role is, what his title is for Shakur.
Let me read this quick quote by Rayful. In reporting on July 12th card, Shakur versus Zepeda, a source with knowledge of specifics told me Shakur split from Matchroom and his manager. Oh shit, James Prince. That's who he split from.
Wow, James Prince. Whoa.
Is a split from Matchroom, and his manager, James Prince, has hired Lou DeBella as his promoter for the event. It says, he goes on to say, he had a 2-fight deal with Matchroom, did one, apparently. Either side could opt out after the first fight. He was hardly in a long-term deal. So apparently part of the deal was either one, both Matchroom and Shakur can opt out of the contract after the first fight was completed, which eventually did happen with this guy who was supposed to fight Schofield. He fought that Padley dude, and then that he opted to book it, I guess.
You know what? He probably didn't like the whole.
Talk real quick. I'll blow my nose real quick. Go
ahead. It looks like Stevenson probably didn't like the situation of the Schofield fight that they put him in. He wanted a major fight. Mm-hmm. Where I was leaning towards is it was probably the Schofield fight that did him in. Look, we all know Eddie was trying to double end that deal, right? Schofield was his guy too. He had Shakur. He's trying to make a quick buck.
He didn't have Schofield. Oscar had Schofield.
You sure about that?
I'm almost certain he had Schofield. Yeah. As a matter of fact.
Oh yeah, Hopkins on. It's Hopkins guy?
Or was it Hopkins? I don't. I just remember the whole thing where like us, we were saying like, damn, Oscar's gonna let this fucker like just get slaughtered by Shakur because he's such a young green dude. But I don't remember. Maybe it was B Hop. I don't remember. But I know definitely Golden Boy.
All right. Well, I was thinking because that fight was so low, everyone was giving him shit for doing it, right? Then it falls through, and he has to take on some electrician step-in guy. Maybe he was just like, first you guys don't land me the fight that I want. I want a big name. I wanted to, freaking step out. Now he's getting Zepeda when he gets away. I think it was the Schofield thing that probably did it in for Eddie. But I thought Schofield had a connection to Eddie Hearn. Was he a DAZN fighter?
Yeah, it was DAZN for sure. It was DAZN
Schofield
because
DAZN?
there's where, yeah, because there's where Oscar has his guys. So it most definitely was DAZN, just not Eddie.
DiBella resume is up there with Eddie Hearn's, if not better, because of his HBO experience. Right? This guy, you probably can't get a lot around him. He knows contracts. Right? He's been writing them up. He's been signing them on both sides of the deal. He's been the programmer that's trying to get the fights, and he's been the promoter who's trying to get the best deal for his fighter. It's a good move. It's a good move bringing him back.
So that's kind of, yes, I would say because of the experience, right? But why has DiBella been away from the fight game so long? That kind of
everyone got away from it, Miguel. Everybody got away from it. Think about it. Floyd Mayweather changed his shit, dude. Like the price range that these guys are asking for, DiBella probably couldn't make anymore, right? So he had to walk. Didn't have anyone that you got to think it's his old connections in the East Coast that got him to Shakur, right? There's got to be some kind of tie there where Shakur maybe
from New Jersey, right?
New Jersey, yeah. Okay, so they're all from, they got to be knowing. Maybe someone got at Shakur and was like, "Hey, man, it's time to go talk to the old timer." You got to go see how Lou's doing. You fucking went over to Lou to see how he's doing. Like I said, DiBella's been there from the beginning, so we know he has old connections. He has old ties, and I gotta think that's how these two found each other. Hopefully, it's a match made in heaven, because I'm telling you, HBO was thriving when DiBella was involved, and DiBella's always been a good guy. He's never had a bad name, bad rap. Had Taylor in some tremendous fights. It was actually Taylor who fucked up his career. It wasn't DiBella. Yeah.
Who
gifted the Hopkins victory?
Who did DiBella have Martinez too? Did he have Sergio Martinez, or who else did he have? Because I mean I know he had a bunch of other fucking names, but was it Martinez?
Well, it might have been Martinez, though. I think
I remember Top Rank getting one over on him by Pavlik whooping Taylor's ass, right? And then later Pavlik getting smoked by Martinez, and I think DiBella was there as well. I don't remember right offhand, but I'm trying to think of some of the other big names that DiBella had. I don't, because that's what I thought when I just read this. I was like, oh shit, what? Where the hell has he been this whole fucking time? And I know you nailed it on the head by everybody stepping away afterwards, but it's like now he's coming back. I don't know, like is he coming back? Is he coming back in an environment that's not the same when he left?
Well, it might be coming back to the environment that he left from, though, right? The guys are fighting a little bit cheaper, right? We don't even have a Shakur, as of right now, he is. He doesn't have a resume yet to ask for any big money. They would laugh if Shakur said, "All right, I want $20 million tomorrow." They would laugh at him. He's not that guy yet. He has the potential to be that guy, and beating someone like Zepeda will get him on that way. But he's not him. Yeah, he couldn't demand shit right now. Right now, it's a great move for DiBella. DiBella's got a young kid. DiBella worked with Floyd too, didn't he? I believe DiBella. Yeah, I think he did the Baltimore fight with Floyd.
Oh shit. Okay.
I believe. Yes, you can look that up. I'm trying to look up his career right now.
Yeah, I know he had other people. I mean, obviously because of the name recognition, right? We know DiBella and DiBella Entertainment.
Right off the top, he is still involved in boxing. Right now, he currently promotes Prograis, Farmer, Dervinkachik, Barchanik, Comey, Kambosos Jr.,
Oh,
U.S.
that's right.
Olymp
Cambosos. Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry.
U.S. Olympian Charles Conwell, Amanda Serrano, Hardy, Deontay Wilder. Oh, he also promoted Deontay Wilder.
Mm,
He's done Martinez. You're right. Taylor. He's done Hopkins, Malinaji, Berto. So he's got a
mm,
list, and
sure.
then you got his HBO side. That's where it's a real positive for everyone involved too, because like I said, he was the HBO boss at the time that was signing these fights that got HBO in one of their probably their biggest, one of the last eras that they were pressing huge numbers on their HBO championship boxing.
Mm. Oh, it's interesting. It's kind of funny how things turn around. Like before the Schofield announcement, or before Shakur fought him, it was like Gervonta, right, and PBC guys trying to get the fight with Shakur because Shakur had no real promotional backing. He eventually got here with Matchroom, and now he's got quite an experienced guy like DeBella, and now Gervonta's kind of floating around, right? I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
it's funny how quickly it fucking changed. I'm sure Javante over here saying like, "Damn, BBC Al, where the fuck you at?" Like what the hell? But yeah, how quickly things turn around. That's pretty crazy, And like I guess I don't know. I just the fight gets announced and then this gets announced. You know what I'm saying? It's just so I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of things going on. Obviously, usually the way it is when it comes to boxing, there's a lot of things going on in the background that we don't know of. But it's crazy that these like announcements came back to back. But we can talk about the announcement, right? But also we can talk about the fight itself, Zepeda and Shakur, which is the primary announcement. Um, what a fight, huh? What that one's going to be? Holy hell, we've been wanting it, right? We were kind of waiting for the business to be finished between Zepeda and Tevin Farmer. It finally completed. Whether or not people agree with the decision, it was 2 wins for William Zepeda in the record book. He can move on now, and boom, now Stevenson is ready. July, summer type blockbuster in New York. All right, I'm down with that one. They haven't said anything about it being any sort of pay-per-view or anything like that, right? And I don't think maybe they will do it. I don't know down the line, but it's going to be a doubleheader. We have that one, and we have Berlanga and Sheeraz. Somehow, I don't know which one's going to be which, but let's talk about Shakur and Zepeda. Damn, that's going to be a banger, huh?
One's gonna throw 100 punches. One's gonna try to dodge 100 punches. Right? Don't knock Shakur if Cepeda don't look the same like Valdez. Right? He's
Wait, what do you
going
mean?
up.
Afterwards? You mean, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, if
Oh,
he doesn't look the same as far as landing 100 punches around,
okay.
right? Because he's going up against the best defensive fighter in the game. That on stats, that's what they call this kid. So it has a potential of being either fight, bro. We're either gonna get a great fight or you get one where you're still hasn't hit him, still hasn't hit him. Just
Well,
saying that's Shakur's kind of
it is,
his
but I hate that they allow him to hold so much. That and I know everybody and their mom say it's part of boxing and yada yada. Anytime anybody gets close enough, and I'm sure Cepeda will get close enough, he's gonna try to smother him. He's gonna try to hold on to him. He's gonna try to clinch, and that is gonna be the kind of fight you just mentioned. Like, oh, he's holding again. Oh, he's holding. The referee had to split him up. How much of the referee is going to be part of this fight to have to fucking split him up so goddamn much? I hope that doesn't end up happening that way because knowing Stevenson, he's going to set an all-time record for clinches in a fight.
yeah, no. So I will still watch, but
Sure.
yeah, they're very opposite, the two styles, right? So it's not like we can predict fight of the year because it might not be. Yeah, one guy just he doesn't engage in that way. He's very technical and his defense is superb. So that makes it hard, right? For and Cepeda, but Cepeda brings it. He's young. You got to fight through them clinches, man. The dude's wrapping you, go low, right? If he's holding you high, go low. Put your forearms into his face, rip him off. The ref's got to warn both of you, right? He's not going to take points from one if the other guy's fouling too. So if he's holding, you got to get that guy off of you somehow. Cepeda knows about the clinching, so let's make a game plan against it, you know? Um, but yeah, definitely a fight at the what is this lightweight division
Yeah.
that
105.
we've been kind of thriving for, right? We've
Yes.
been waiting for this division. I think for 2 eras now. We're on our second era, Gervonta. Uh, but but yeah, and hopefully it all leads to bigger, better things.
Mhm. Um, I was going to ask a question about it, but like historically, when there's an overly offensive fighter fights an overly defensive fighter, many times the defensive fighter is going to win, and
Yeah, I don't
it's
want to
happened a lot of
say
times.
it.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I'm not going to say these guys are at the level, but an example would be Floyd and Manny. It's just like it pretty much had to be that, right? Floyd was landing those fucking right shots all day, and anytime Manny got close enough, he was able to wrap him up and everything. And it's just like it didn't turn out to be the fight of the whatever the hell we were going to call it at the time, but that's usually the way it is. And there's a I don't want to like already like put out the fire on the flame because the fight is just barely getting hot. But if Zepeda doesn't come in with a good game plan, specifically that, and I don't know, William Zepeda, if you're listening to this, please come up with a good fucking plan to get the out of the clinches. Make it rough. You have no choice but to make it rough. Rough Shakur up because you're gonna have no choice. He's gonna try to wrap you up, and when you least expect it, it's gonna pop you, and he's gonna land the punches, and he's gonna end up coming away with the decision. And I don't anticipate this fight ending, inside of those 12 rounds. But Cepeda, please have a fucking game plan. Please
You
get
got
everybody in your people, huh?
you got Pacquiao, Mayweather. You got Roy Jones, James Toney. Great offensive fighter versus great defensive. I know Roy had offense too, but in that fight, he was a lot more defense. He didn't want any of James Toney that night. And then Chavez Whitaker. Obviously, those are three great examples of legends fight going up against each other, and defensive guys win. I had Chavez winning, so fuck you guys. But I get all of
that. You always say that.
I get all of your arguments, blah blah blah. So that's the majority, I guess you would say, thinks Whitaker should have gotten the victory on Chavez.
Well, Sports Illustrated did for that fucking Sports Illustrated, cover that said robbed on there. I'm sure they thought the same thing. Okay, right on. So on to the second fight of the card. That's the primary one, whether it's the co-main event or not. Edgar Berlanga, after his recent, removal or his contract ending with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. Now he's on this card here, taking on Hamzah Sheeraz, which we have briefly mentioned a few times because we thought maybe he was going to potentially be a Canelo opponent, and it may still happen, right? I mean,
not this. Yeah, we didn't think this fast though.
Right. We didn't think this fast, but
fucking
it's happening here. A super middleweight, of course. Not, I mean, I don't know. Again, we don't know what's going to be the main event, but it's going to happen in New York City, Berlanga's backyard. He's got a lot of momentum, huh?
Oh yeah, look it. That's how they got Berlanga to take the fight, probably, right? Because this is a major hit for Berlanga if he loses this fight. I think if they offered to him in Riyadh, he wouldn't have taken it. He would have been smarter and been like, no, you guys aren't just using my name to step over me to go to Canelo. Because that's what's happening. Look at Berlanga. Nobody wants to see you and Canelo twice. Man, we're not looking for the rematch. This fight was built for Sheeraz to win, to be impressive, to go to America, to beat the New Yorker in his hometown. And I promise you, Turki will be telling everyone he's going to be fighting Canelo next. And if not next, they'll do one more fight, and then it's Canelo's not fighting David Benavidez. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If these are his last 4 fights, and he already has 2 of them, looks like they're already sealed. You know what I mean? It's not how it's probably going to be a rematch versus Sheeraz. If that, then that's number 3. So Canelo's wrapped up.
Called him right. Skull, right?
Scully.
What's his name? Crawford, right?
Oh yeah, the Crawford fight, and then Sheeraz. There it is.
And it's like that's probably how it's going to end up happening.
And that's the rematch, and then the rematch to say goodbye.
Right.
Goodbye. It'll be a split decision. Trust me, it won't be unanimous. It'll be split.
Right. And this is actually also Sheeraz's debut at super middleweight because he has been a middleweight, and this is going to be his first fight at super middleweight against Berlanga. Damn. Right off the bat, going up against, it's 20-0, 1 draw and 17 KOs, and then Berlanga being 23-1 with 18 KOs. So up there as far as KOs go, yeah, I mean, that this is a very beatable or winnable fight for Sheeraz. I mean, he's the undefeated fighter here, and he's the one that's got a lot of momentum coming into it. And not to say that Berlanga hasn't, but coming off of that loss to Canelo, and then his most recent win over a name that we don't even have to bring up, the hot dog vendor guy, and that's his confidence builder. Every time the fighter loses, they have to have a fight. They kind of builds their confidence again. And Berlanga's last one was not very impressive. And Sheeraz has had a couple of tough fights up at middleweight, but now going into super middleweight, this is going to be his first fight there. Oh yeah, that's right. He fought. He had a close draw with Carlos Adames back in February. Oh yeah, I was on the February card, the February 12th, with Beterbiev and Bivol 2 rematch. So, all right. So we see what's going on, right? He's gonna end up. I mean, well, I'm saying, who knows? If boxing is. I mean, I was watching actually Bo Holyfield 2 with that fucking fan man guy, right? So anything can happen, right, in boxing. So it's not a sure thing that Sheeraz is gonna win and go on to face Canelo, although I'm sure low key that's the plan, right?
Oh, but wait a minute, Miguel. So
Yes.
he fights Terrence in September.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
So you just called it 5 months. So we're saying in September here again. We will announce Canelo's next fight. So
Canelo's,
5 months.
Hold on. If he's got September, if Canelo has Crawford in September, Cinco de Mayo 2026 against Sheeraz.
Against Sheeraz, yeah, no, I definitely 5 months. You're gonna do this every 5 months, bro.
Yeah, this is how well we know the fucking sport. That this is we could.
I hope not. Damn it! We better start laying some money.
I know, right? If only we can take advantage of these fucking of these fights. It's like, is there? Can we put odds on who his next opponent's gonna be? Like, come on, go to Cesar's real quick and be like, Pam. But okay, so in your opinion, which fight should be the main event and which one should be the co-main event?
Well, the main event is definitely Zepeda versus Shakur. That is the main event. Even if they have Sheeraz as the main event because the man throwing the fight wants him there, puts him there, the whole boxing world knows who the main event is that night. That's just all there is going to be to that. That'll definitely be Julio Cesar Chavez on the undercard of one of Tyson's throwaway fights, right? And then Don used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
So no, this is going to be one of those nights where the co-main is looked at as the main event.
All right. And of course, it's so far ahead that we're not even going to get into predictions right now. But I'm sure at some point we're going to have one of those kind of prediction type fights where we can take a look at, who would win, who could potentially win in that one. But I mean, you know who the favorite in my house is going to be. My dad has been dying for this opportunity, and for the longest time, I was telling my dad, like, Dad, I don't think they're going to do it. Like, if this shit's going on, he still hasn't finished business with Farmer, and he's like, yeah, but once he gets past Farmer, I'm like, okay, and then boom, this fucking announcement. So, and in New York, so I mean, it's right next to New Jersey, and he's gonna have the people behind him. Shakur, I'm talking about, is quite a bit. All right, that's one. That was a good one. We'll talk about, of course, that one in more detail as we get more information, and then of course the breaking news of when Shakur
Lou
going to
DiBella.
all of a sudden. What a curveball, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty good.
For as much as we haven't heard his name around the biz in a hot minute, he's been doing it in the background, I guess, right? All right. It was recently reported that one Deontay Wilder is going to make his return to boxing. From what I can tell here, this is what one of the most recent posts says. He declares, "It feels good to announce I'm coming back and coming for my belts." Okay. Former WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder has officially announced his return to boxing after a year-long absence, stating his intention to reclaim world titles, stating, "My grandma told me years ago I was anointed by God, and she didn't lie. Here I am. The mission is the same. I got to get these titles, man. I got to show the world how great I am, like they know I am." It continues, and I'm looking forward to it. It feels good to be a veteran. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. I might have to tell you, Deontay, your grandma was lying to you. I'm sorry, but that was probably her saying, "Yeah, sweetheart, go get me the iron so I can iron your shirt here." What do you make of this? What do you make of this? I don't know if he's had gone to Peru for another ayahuasca trip, but clearly he's convinced that not only can he come back and make a comeback to the sport, but also win his belts back. I don't know when. What won the fuck the last time that he won?
You got to look that up. Look at Deontay's coming back for a check. That's all there is. I don't know if it's going to come from Turkey, though. He's got to get past this little warm up fight, hopefully get a knockout while he does it. And then maybe Turkey gives him a phone call. Maybe he doesn't. The knockout to Zhang could have been a nail in the coffin as far as him on the big screen, though. I know there's a Joshua potential still because Joshua is no winner himself. Um, He's also, I mean, dude, he can get small enough. I don't know why he couldn't, why he isn't going after Jake. And I'm not trying to put everybody's name in it, but remember how he used to weigh 218,
Mhm.
208 or some shit, like 213 maybe it was his lowest. I mean, get back down to there and give Jake a fucking run for his money. You know, Jake might think he can beat you up. He's seen you knocked out numerous times. Hey, don't go for a belt. That's what I'm trying to give him a new game plan. Don't go for a belt. It's just uh been there, done that. You've been getting hurt with some, that last move you did, the whole 360. The fact that you put out the video showing that you guys are training to do that is what made that one sad. Desperate, sad, um, no guidance, no real training. Emmanuel Stewart would have never have gave you the okay to fucking do a 360 in the ring.
No, he
To
wouldn't do
get
that.
no, I don't think you would have been on board with that, man. That would have been one of those, sit your ass down moments. I'm either teaching or I'm walking. That's what you do as a trainer when your fighter comes up with those fucking great ideas. Um, so yeah, it wasn't a good look to
Can you
Zhang.
imagine he comes some training like Emmanuel? I got a great idea. Okay, show me. Like,
Throw a
fucking throw.
punch. Whoop.
Yeah. Is this April Fool's? Is this some kind of fucking joke? Deontay, touch yourself.
Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah. What do you think? After he pulls it off, Emmanuel's like, huh? How was that?
You've been hit too much in the head, kid. That's what that tells me.
Fine. It's like, take off the gloves. Okay? So 2 losses to Fury, right? Back in 2020 and 2021. The one punch first round KO victory over Robert Helenius, and then the loss by unanimous decision to Joseph Parker, and then the KO loss to Zhang. So yeah, he's won out of the last 5 fights, and yeah, that was 2022. So we're looking at roughly 3 years ago, a little under 3 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, it's one win in 3 years.
Yeah. So I mean, is there? I mean, yeah, I know stranger things have happened again. I was talking about
Ngannou. He should fight Ngannou. Like, come on, do things like that, right? That's what he should be going to Turkey for. That's a great name. Ngannou. I forgot all about that dude. Is that guy gonna fight in boxing anymore? Or is he one and done?
I one. Well, he fought Tyson. Remember, he got that decision. So he
Oh,
fought
two. Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, for the paydays that he got there, I doubt he's done. He did come back in MMA and he did fight and he won. Although he looked a little labored in winning, but he won. And I don't know if he's going to continue in whichever one. But the handsome paydays, it's going to be a minute before we probably see him back in the fucking ring again, or the cage for that matter. But I doubt that he wants to end on that note, on that fucked up ass KO. Maybe he won't fight one of the top guys again or anything like that, or maybe he will. Maybe with Wilder. Maybe he thinks Wilder is shot and he can't take a punch, and maybe he thinks a fight like that. That's perfect. That is perfect.
Yeah.
Fuck the belts, Wilder. Just go straight to some fight like Ngannou or some shit. And even Jake Paul, because I mean Jake is gonna fight at, I guess, cruiserweight, but really anything over 200, which the dude absolutely is pretty much heavyweight, right? So it's like, go ahead and do it at a heavyweight, or if you want to put some sort of cap or rehydration clause or whatever on the fucking heavyweight, by all means do it. But I'm sure you can you imagine that Jake Paul and fucking Deontay Wilder?
Yeah. Those are better options than him trying to go back to Usyk and freaking rematch with Zanger Parker. It's just don't like that career move for him.
No, or anybody waiting from like that Martin Beloki dude. It's like these guys will fucking knock your head off at this point. Just maybe a guy like Jake who doesn't have the same kind of pop. Maybe a guy like Ngannou, but definitely
with Ngannou, it'll just be about power versus power, right? Maybe he lands the right hand that Joshua lands, and then it's just an awesome fight, I think, on paper. If Turkey wanted to do another one of these Ngannou versus a real boxer, that's a great fight to put Ngannou in. Very
And
winnable.
for Ngannou.
Ngannou.
Oh,
Oh
okay, I
yeah.
see. I see. All right. Yeah, because I was going to ask you that. I was like, hold on. Well, so it shit. So we'll throw in Wilder in there, right? Very winnable for Ngannou. Another loss for Wilder. Damn. Like that.
Yeah.
That's because
Well, like I said, Miguel, I believe he's coming back for a check. So they're going to put him in with this guy at a high school gym in Alabama somewhere. I'm hoping he knocks. He better not decision. You know how sometimes these guys, these legends, and I know Wilder's not a legend, but he's a veteran. He's an ex-champ. Yeah, he broke Tyson's record, right, Miguel? So
yeah.
kind of,
How many title defense he beat? Bihal's record for title defenses.
yeah, kind of legendary. But anyways, they fumble the ball, right? They just fumble it. They have an easy fight. Roberto Duran losing to Pat Laurer. Fucking Chavez losing to who is the Robinson? Who is the one guy that derailed his little I forget his name.
Victory.
His little he was doing a little tour with Ivan Robinson, I think was his name.
Oh,
I think it was Ivan. Yeah. He was doing a tour with Top Rank, and they were selling out, bro. 18,000 seats wherever they fucking put him, and then he goes and loses some fucking retired ass lightweight. It was like, come on, Chavez, you fucked it all off. But yeah, every once in a while they fumble the ball. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, you're making a great comeback. So yeah, I don't want to see Wilder. I don't want to see Wilder lose at the high school gym in Alabama, but that's where we're at right now.
According to ESPN, because I do pull up their boxing schedule, it is one Tyrell Herndon, 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 10 rounds heavyweights. Oh, Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, in Kansas. Okay. All right. I thought they were going to his hometown, but whatever.
Tuscaloosa, where the fuck is from, right? I mean, I can't say that they're too far that far from one another. Kansas and Wichita.
Same exactly shit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It might be a YMCA at the fucking Wichita, Kansas, and there's where we're gonna have this fucking fight. So I'm just saying. It might be a different state, but it's pretty much the same fan base, and I don't know how this place is going to take place. But I've never heard of this guy. I'm sure we'll have to look him up here shortly. But Tyrell Herndon, 10 rounds. Okay, it's kind of your comeback, I suppose. Yeah. I hope Wilder listens to this, and he listens to us, and he takes a fight with Ngannou and still puts himself in the limelight there. Okay, one of the other stories I wanted to mention is this kind of maybe curveball that one Turki Alalshikh has given us with a deal with a stealer of a deal, Andrew, $90 bundle for both the May 2nd and May 3rd card. Now, of course, the May 2nd card, Friday, May 2nd, which we're about a couple of weeks away now, because next week we have Conor Benn and Eubank Jr. And then the week that follows is it. So we're 2 weeks away. Next week will be our, more detailed go home show that we call it, that will lead to the May 2nd and May 3rd card. But I didn't even know that the May 2nd card was going to be on pay-per-view. I thought it was going to be for free. I realized it wasn't going to be for free for the people to show up. I know it's going to be invite only. And then besides, I guess maybe people in the buildings, they get to watch it. But also, the May 3rd fight with Canelo and Skull on the DAZN pay-per-view. It's going to be, they're going to offer a $90 bundle. So you can pay, I think, what was it? Damn it. I had it pulled up. It was like $60-something per event if you wanted to buy them individually. If you wanted to buy one or not the other, it was going to be like $65 or something like that. Or you can buy the bundle, bundle up like Progressive Insurance and get $90 for both cards. All right, so that turns out to be what, $45 each card. I don't remember the last time a Canelo fight was $45. That seems pretty decent. Am I going to pay $45 to see Haney and fucking, or not, Garcia, Rolando, Romero, and Haney and Ramirez? What do you think of this, first and foremost? What was your first impression when you read this shit?
I'm getting tired of the unknown of the pay-per-view status of these fights. When Turkey first started, I thought none of this was going to be on pay-per-view. Then it was, oh, here we'll do $25 pay-per-views. Then they gave us like a regular priced one. Then they gave us the 25. You know what I mean? Like it's all over the place.
Isn't that how
I
it is though? Isn't that how it normally is? Like we don't know what the price ends up being until
no,
find out. No?
not that much. Not where it might fluctuate $10. Like one might be 89, the other one's 79,
Okay.
but never 40 to 89 to 25 to 90. Like what the fuck? $90 for a pay-per-view. Look, I know they're giving a yeah, I know. I don't really consider Canelo a legit fight, Miguel. This is William Skull. I don't even know who the fuck this dude is. And I like that they have him on a treadmill and he looks like he's a big muscle guy. But good in shape bodies doesn't mean you can fight, right? Especially when you're going up against Canelo. I wish they would have put him on some kind of big fight card a Terrence Crawford card, something that we could have seen this man and been like, oh yeah, and he looked pretty good. And maybe he has, and I just haven't seen it, but I don't know him. I don't fucking know him, and he's going up against the face of boxing. Canelo should wipe the fucking mat with this guy. This is not a legit fight. You are going against the best of the best, and you're a fucking nobody. Who have you been in with? Exactly. That's my point. It's not a real fight. Rolly Romero and Garcia is a real fight because Garcia's coming in off of being fucking dirty. And I'm telling you right now, his attitude change is getting me a little bit excited. It really is. Not in a Diddy way. Excited for the fight, you guys. Don't you?
Chub? A little half chub? No.
No, not at all. My mind's fucking waste. It's garbage up here. But as soon as I said it, Miguel was like, "Oh fuck, that came out wrong. That wasn't right." So now I'm excited for Rolly Romero's chances of upsetting this dude. Why is fucking Garcia so humbled? He almost seems nervous. You nervous, Garcia? You nervous you don't have your little supplements? Huh? No supplements in this training camp? Where's the speed at, homie? I don't know when he did the body challenge with Ngannou.
I think it was a while ago.
It was a while ago? Because he doesn't put a fucking dent into that guy. And I know he's a heavyweight, but fuck, dude, when you land 30 fucking punches, you think you would have done something. Ngannou is laughing at him.
Yeah, I think it was a hot minute ago. I think it was before Ngannou even made the jump to boxing.
All right. Why is it going virally? It was just on my feed. I didn't look the shit up. Yeah. But whatever. He doesn't put a dent in him. He kind of looks like a little boy hitting a big man. It was not a good video for Garcia at all. But then the interviews. He's so calm. He's so humbled. Did you lose your last fight or win your last fight? Is it the lawsuit that has him acting this way? Or is it what we've seen every fucking cheater go through? The mental breakdown of not having your fucking drugs in your training camp. Miguel, once you start feeling your shit slipping because you don't have what got you over the edge, it takes a toll. I'm just saying, Raleigh. I'm just saying I like...
Is Raleigh going to be the one to exploit that, though?
Like he has the power to exploit it. I don't know if he will, but he has a puncher's chance.
At 147, mind you. They're going to fight at 147. So I don't think he's going to fight at 147 because he was at 140 prior to this where he lost to Pitbull and all these fights, right? So he's not going to be fighting at 140 here. I'm sure it's going to be a full-blown welterweight, which he's been unproven, Raleigh, I'm saying. Does he have that kind of pop at 147?
Well, because we haven't seen him there, it's unknown. But he had to pop 7 pounds lighter, so I'm going to give him a puncher's chance in this one, especially if you have a young man who's doubting himself mentally. Matter of fact, if I'm fucking Rolly Romero, I'm pressing on his mental about the not having his fucking edge. Big time. Get that into his head. Tell him about all the other guys that were caught on dirty tests and how they didn't look the same in the next fight. Oh, I'd be pumping that shit hard into Garcia because I'm sorry, Garcia, you came back fucking dirty, and right now you're acting a little bit shy. You really are. Like you got I'm not going to say doubt, but it's just not the same Garcia that we're known, right? This is like, it just seems like it's Garcia after Tank. Right? It was the humbled Garcia, and maybe he's humbled because he sees that his left hook isn't as fast as it was in the Haney training camp. Maybe he doesn't know why. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did not do it intentionally, but it was in there. And that's even doubt in his head because now it's like, fuck. So was it the drugs? Motherfucker, I didn't even know I was on it, but was it that? Yeah, motherfucker, it was. That's what I'd be saying. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. You're gonna start breathing harder in the round 2 and 3. You're gonna lose it up here because you know it's not gonna go. I'll be all in the shit.
And you know what? I have to say I'm pretty disappointed in Raleigh. I
I
watching
know.
every one of these clips where like it's Teofimo and it's Devin and it's Garcia all bickering, going back and forth, and even Oliver Barbosa getting in on the action, and then Ramirez kind of off to the side like, I guess this is what they do now. And then I swear the most quietest one there, the quietest one is fucking Raleigh himself, and he just kind of I mean, don't get me wrong, he's enjoying it. He's like, looking back and forth. It's like, bro, you're fighting on the card too, homie. Like, throw your ass in there. Interrupt if you have to. It's not like you haven't done it before. Like, where is that edge? Where's the one that brought out the fucking Chihuahua before the Pitbull fight? At least something like that, And the you're giving him the material. You're basically telling him like, dude, yeah, go ahead, throw that in there. Throw that fucking doubt. If nothing else, at the very least, get in his fucking head. Have him lose a little bit of sleep coming into these fights. Saying like, yeah, dude, yeah, you were doing that shit because you were on the juice and you're not on it anymore. So that's why.
And I would go on that podium and go, I believe everything he said about not knowing, but we all know that you were, and it's showing.
Yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get past the test.
What do you think of Raleigh being so fucking quiet?
I think it's because they all clown the shit out of him like he's a sparring boy.
He's like the one that's bullied the most there.
For reals, bro. It was so bad what they did to him in the beginning. They almost like they tell him, "Shut up, you don't belong here," and he's like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they probably all handled him in sparring at one point in their career.
Yeah. Well, I guess because he would feel pretty small if he's in a room with everybody that whooped his ass. He's like, what am I doing here? Everybody handed his ass to him.
So I'm in with the big boys, Mom.
Yeah, like, hi, Mom. Like, I'm gonna lose, but it's okay. I'm gonna buy you a house next week. Yeah. I mean, I guess that would make sense. That would make sense that he's just kind of like that humble, but dude, at least I mean, I don't know, maybe
sell it.
Sell it.
He's got the wrong guy in his ear. He needs someone that can talk this kind of shit into his ear to make him go, you know what, you're fucking right. He did test dirty. Slap his ass and go, I told motherfucker he tested dirty. Get your shit right. You know what I mean? Go in there and press this fucking guy. Oh, he needs that guy. You know what I mean? He's probably got someone who's counting his money.
Yeah. Right, before it hits his fucking bank account. It's like, well, what kind of shoes can I buy with this?
Yeah.
So I mean, I would have liked Raleigh to be in there because that's the part that kind of concerns me the most is how like humble he is. It's like, no, we don't need that. The last thing we need is the main event, because it's going to be him and Raleigh and Ryan. They're going to be the main event. The last thing we need is fucking Ryan arguing with somebody else who's in the co-main event. We all know that the future plan is to have Devin and Ryan but it's like we're not there yet. And I really don't like those kinds of like what do they call them, like round table type events that they do.
Oh, it was so childish.
And even when Max Kellerman did it on HBO, the Face Off or whatever the fuck they call it, Face to Face or whatever, they'll have like Margarito and Cotto before the rematch, and I don't know who the fuck else, but it just seems. That whole thing just seems very high schoolish. Like, what's his name? Max trying to stir shit up. It's like being the instigator. Like, well, he said, and then we get, if the fighters themselves have it in them to talk shit and bottom line is, if it comes from the fighter, cool, I'm all about it. But when there's somebody that's trying to facilitate it and trying to make it happen, it's like, no, don't artificially make it. And every time I see these events where they have them in this round table, I always get that. And like, I want to watch them, but it becomes so cringe after a while. I'm like, I don't even want to see this shit anymore. But
Lopez,
it definitely is alarming when Ryan isn't even arguing with fucking, Berlanda. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, Lopez is acting like a high school football player. Freaking Haney, what the fuck was he dressed in? Can we get someone that can dress Devin Haney? This guy looked like he had a sleeping bag on, bro. Like, it was so weird.
He looked like Missy Elliott in the fucking music video.
Ramirez is thinking about the farm. He's not even tuned in. He's fucking... I feel Ramirez, man. I hope he does good, but yeah, the guy's just not in tune. And then Ryan didn't have anything to say. Even when Lopez tried to like put it on Ryan, he was like, "Leave me alone, Haney. You know, you need to talk to this guy. He's the one that beat your ass." Ryan just kind of like looked around, like, "What? Why did you bring my name into this?" Like he had nothing, you know, no. And then did you hear when Ryan goes, um, he's all, my main goal is to get Haney in the rematch. Weird.
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, he says that, dude. He says that in that roundtable. Like he's looking past Raleigh Romero and looking, but is it because the doubt, Ryan? You don't even know if you did it yourself. You don't know if that night was real. Is that why you're saying your main goal is to get him back in the ring? Because a month
like
ago,
to himself
it's to prove to his fucking self.
Oh,
yeah, because dude, he might not have known. Maybe somebody was giving him something that he didn't know. He put trust in someone. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest fucking mental fuck you can have, is not knowing you were dirty, finding out you're dirty, and then feeling like you don't have it anymore. Yeesh. Remember Sugar Shane? I don't got it no more, Dad. I don't got it no more. That dude still lost the fight. Dad tried to slap his ass. He still lost the fight. I think it's a winky right? Is it winky right?
The rematch?
Yeah, he leans over. I don't got it anymore, Dad. Damn it.
It's like, if I have to bring the needle and shit you the fucking try end this fight, you got it, son.
Hey, my grandma used to give me what were they called? Tic Tacs. Whenever I said I had a headache when I was little, she'd give me a Tic Tac, tell me it was aspirin. She said it worked every time. So you got to bring like some sugar water or something in the needle, eh? Bam, baby, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your treat, just to get that mental back.
Do that fucking Panama Lewis, like shit, like the water, like sick water, like, go ahead, drink this sugar water. This with antihistamines or whatever the fuck you put in. It's like, yeah, this has, what was it? What, Austrian? What the fuck was it that he took? I forgot what he took.
Austrian,
Garcia, Ryan, right?
Yep.
It's like, yeah, we got some of this, and then it'll be like something super obvious, like it'll have a big bottle that says Austrian on it, like, here you go, Ryan. It's like, oh yeah,
I'm fucking back.
Yeah, Derek James, and they're like, all right, yeah, here you go, buddy. Like, Derek, thank you, Derek. You're doing it for the team.
I got a joke. It's not a joke. It's real life. It's sad, but it was funny. But it's sad. One of my best friends in high school, his mom's boyfriend was an alcoholic, right? Oh, dude, we're watching fucking Barrera Jr. Jones, bro. This fucking drunk motherfucker, right? He's white.
First one or the second one? First one or the second one?
The first one, man. Because Miguel, it's a bad night for me. You know me. Andrew's coming through. He's praising the fuck out of Barrera. Barrera's the guy. Barrera's Chavez. We're coming back. He can't stop this shit. This dude's like, America, just drunk, right? America, go to America. And I'm American, but not when you're going up against some Mexicans at this time, right? I'm like, fuck you, dude. Shut up. June Jones is going to get his ass whooped. Hey, his mom, we kept arguing. She goes, hey, come here. She's like, watch this. She takes his vodka. It was clear. I think it was vodka. Pours it into the fucking sink. She's like, he's done. I'm tired of how he's talking to you. Because I'm a young kid, right? This guy's hammered, talking shit the whole fucking fight. She puts water in his shit. Here comes the fucking dude. Gets his fucking vodka, makes it drink. Swear to God, Miguel. He's like, yeah, I got Barrera. Ooh, he said, you asshole. Fucking pure water, bro. He's still, that's what you got to do to Garcia. Hit him with that needle, get that reaction. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, man.
True story. True fucking story, bro. And it's great that it had boxing involved.
If you thought Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories were good, this is Andrew Lapichet's True Boxing Stories. That's what it is.
Next week, Angel Dust. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking playing with you guys.
My grandma threw Angel Dust in my fucking face. I thought I was 3 James. No. So $90 is kind of it kind of sucks, because I mean, even like Canelo's fight with the Israel Yildirim or whatever was free on DAZN. Like, if you're gonna do those kind of fights, I mean, I know they're trying to build it as a major thing because he is the IBF super middleweight champ, because he fucking won a vacant belt, but now they're trying to be, this is for the undisputed super middleweight title, and they're trying to make it more important than it really is, knowing that the future fights are the ones that are important. The Hamzah, Sheeraz, and the Crawfords down the line. Damn, $45 for that. And who else? What did we say? Bruno Saras and Mungia. The rematch for that. That's going to be the co-main event. $45 for that. That's a good HBO card. I mean, I don't know if it's one of those.
You had it right. I don't know. I think this card is better if they're together, man. I pay 90 if Canelo's the main event of those three. This is going to hurt Canelo's sales on Saturday is those three fights being on Friday night. You could have a lot of American boxing fans that peak on Friday with their boxing, what is it, fix of the weekend, and decide not to do the. I guess the bundle you have to do it at once, but I don't think I do. Man. I don't like that they
can buy them individually. You can buy them.
But it's more money.
It was $65. I mean, no, if you want to buy one or the other, I guess is my point. Because you can end up paying if you don't want to pay for the Canelo fight and you just want the May 2nd card.
Of course,
it's like $65, or the other way around, right? If you just want it and not this, it's great that we have the option because it's going to come out to be less if you bundle them, of course. But have we looked into what time the Canelo fight is? Because if people are going to watch, they're going to pay $90 to watch both of them. They're probably going to party hard Friday night before the May 2nd.
That's true.
Are they going to wake up in time to watch the Canelo fight Saturday morning or afternoon? They'll be like hungover, barely waking up, like, oh shit, he already won. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're right. It's in Riyadh. That's a good question. I don't know when that. Yeah, that's a good question when the time is. They didn't think this one through. I'm telling you, they really didn't think this one through because the Friday card is so big, and the main event of that weekend is not that big. Yeah.
Are you going to be forking up $90 to do both? I mean, I'm going to watch both. I might do it anyway because I'm not a heavy drinker. I'm not going to go partying Friday night the 2nd. I will most likely wake up in the morning and watch the fucking Canelo fight. So I might as well do it. But if people know Garcia, people know Haney, they're going to party Friday night. Are they going to wake up in time for Mr. Canelo against a nobody?
And I don't even like the weekend. I don't like these afternoon fights like that. But listen, this is going to be my answer for right now. It's going to be a game time decision of how much spending money I have to throw away. Because look, I'm throwing the Canelo money away. Excuse me. I have no interest in the undercard, right?
I have a rematch.
No.
Okay.
Maybe if Suarez wins, yeah. Maybe if Suarez wins, but if Munguia wins, it's like Berlanga. Well, I don't want to him versus Canelo again. And now that they're fucking butt buddies, I really don't want to see that fight over. So Suarez, I'm going for him.
Saras.
Damn it. Saras. I'll get your name,
close,
buddy.
Yeah,
I'm going for him.
Munguia one more time. We'll get your name right. If we upset Munguia one more time, we'll get it right.
Yeah. So I'll go for him. But it comes down to what's happening on Saturday. If it's my daughter's last performance or something like that, no, I'm not watching Scully and Canelo live. That'll be something I would watch later on the internet, and I'm getting Friday night's fights for sure. Sorry. It's just what's happening.
So right now that I just pulled it up, this is what AI says. Hopefully AI is correct. The main event ring walks for Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull are scheduled for. Oh, what the hell? The ring walks? Wait a second. Scheduled for 11 p.m. Eastern time. That's 11.
Oh, that's regular time.
8 p.m. Yeah. 8 time.
That's regular time.
This corresponds. What the hell? All right. The event will be held at the Riyadh. All right. Well, it's going to be in Riyadh. So what? They're going to do it in the morning over there, I guess?
Maybe they learned from the Riyadh Latin nights that they don't expect a big fan base. So they're like, you know what? We'll just give it to them on their time zone so we can maximize the pay-per-view buys, right?
Okay.
Because if they do it in the afternoon, and like you said, everyone's not waking up, no one's buying it, and then you have an empty arena because no one. Hopefully, Canelo brings them out. I think it's the opponent that'll make people stay home, and the prices of the tickets.
If the fight takes place at that time here, that's like 6 a.m. in Riyadh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Hey. All right. I mean, maybe they learned, right? Maybe they learned. All right. Yeah. We want Cinco de Mayo, Cinco the night, of.
That's
Um,
right. That's right.
Whether or not I'll pay a fork up $90 is still kind of on the fence, but you know what? I'll be home, so it's not like I wouldn't. But that will to be continued. We don't know. I haven't fully decided on that.
Don't know if that's the answer Turki Alalshikh's looking for, but yeah, we'll get back to you on that. Click.
Yes, I hope you learn, Mr. Turki. But that pretty much wraps up what we wanted to talk about here today on this Easter Monday. We will definitely, we got this weekend coming up with Conor Benn and Eubank Jr. That's most likely going to be in the morning. And then when we record next Sunday, we'll definitely be talking. I'll give you a more definitive answer then, rather than I'll be paying 90 fucking bones for both of those. But for myself and my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache. We want to wish you guys a very happy Easter Monday, and we will see you guys next week. Take care, y'all. Peace.